Vincenzo's Gold Crypto Investing, this May the 9th, 2025, noontime cryptocurrency and the blockchain technology video on this late spring, gorgeous, glowing, beautiful, crystal clear, deepening blue sunshine with a westerly wind of 15 to 20 miles per hour just north of downtown Detroit, with a current official temperature of a beautiful, comfortable, seasonably nice 61 degrees J after a frosty morning this morning in the great state of Michigan, right? Bell notification, comment down below, like the channel and share to get that truth, trust, information, and education that you've come to expect and need and deserve. Become members of Jabroni Killers to help spread the message of the channel that is built and there for the retail trader, and it is the only channel in its class that is for the retail trader and investor, and that's why we started this channel for you. You can see we've had that fresh bullish cross where the 50 has got above the 100-day moving average. The price has soared almost to a new all-time high, and we're at a decision point where if this is going to be a classic bull trap where you come all the way back up after 30+% correction to the downside, and then you nearly on a ferocious spike to end it right there, get rejected and have a quick turnaround, and before you know it, you're back looking at the $90,000 and questioning what's actually going on in the market. Is this going to be a classic bull uh, trap where you can see the final move in about 3 days? The Bitcoin price moved up 12% and made 50% of that yesterday. Right, so that's what we're watching out for. If you are breaking the pattern and flipping to new all-time highs and breaching and taking out the 109,400 and change that we had back there, your next upper target is $119,286, right? And that's the next target that we've had up there ever since the 109,000 correction. So this is a very critical weekend to see if this pattern is going to be invalidated or if this pattern is still in effect. And this is just one gigantic over exuberant bear trap across the board from the turnaround on a technical levels where most of these altcoins were down 60 to 80% from their February and December highs. And Bitcoin was down greater than 30%. Ethereum was down greater than 60, 70% from its high. And is this just an over exuberant return rally to suck in as many people as they can, to trick as many people as possible, to make and to believe that this bear correction is over and the next leg of this bull market is starting? It's a very critical weekend. That's what we're going to be watching all weekend. Do we get broken down and trade back to the downside and hit underneath support? Or are we just going to continue to the upside? Even if we hit underneath support, say this comes down like this, if it holds at 97,000 and continues up, that's a bullish correction. So that's something that we would watch out for. It would be a bearish correction if it came down all the way like this and then got underneath it and started using it as resistance. That would be very, very bearish, right? So these are some things that we're watching out for this weekend in the Bitcoin price. It's just never going to get fixed. Never going to get fixed. You can see Bitcoin market dominance. Bitcoin dominance continues to fall. You can see today we went down 0.88%, and this is leaving and giving more breathing room and more life for these altcoins to shoot up, and some of them 30, 40% today, and 60 to 200% over the last a couple of days. And if this continues to fall like that, and we do all the way and come back down to say 58.69, that would leave a lot more room for these altcoins to continue to pump, right? And that's what we're going to watch out for to see what happens here as it starts to chop down through the moving averages from the 50 in red to the blue 100 to the 200 just below the blue, right? So we're going to continue to follow that. We can see Ethereum skyrocketed 20% yesterday, and then it did actually wick all the way up yesterday to the $2,436 target, something that we were talking about when the price was stagnating on, near, or just below that critical upper resistance right there. You can see it for about 10 days to 14 days right here. We told you initially on the first pump, our target was the 100-day moving average, and we cleared that. Then we had a second target of $2,400 or the 200-day moving average, and now it's got rejected. It's sitting halfway in between the 100-day and the 200-day right there in the red dotted line. And then if it breaches the 200-day, your next upper resistance that we talked about yesterday would be $3,041. And this weekend, again, all these coins are in critical spots. If this starts to roll over and trade back to the downside this weekend, your first area of support is the 200-day moving average. And then your second major area of support is that 50-day moving average or the top part of this blue trading zone at $1,809. And that's what you would need to hold to continue bullish, right? From this 25, 30% move that you've seen over here over the last 24 hours, or this is just going to reverse and come back upon itself. And I know I'm still, call me stupid, stubborn, whatever. I still believe these are all going to flip around. I still believe these are just temporary pump back up into the market. And we're going to have a big, big correction and a big flush and a big heist of the retail manipulated market traders being manipulated and orchestrated by the criminal gangsters. And that's why you need to become members of Jabroni Killers to get my truth, trust, education, and information. I am not a financial advisor. These are only my own personal opinions. And we're going to see this weekend with the XLM after we had another big pump off of the 25.5 cents. Is this going to continue and try to run all the way to 43 cents over the next week to 10 days? Which would be a technical target out of this, where you have uh, resistance, sort of a neckline and a pump out. The point of a breakout, still don't want to buy you, would be all the way up there at 43 cents. But if this starts to give back this weekend, you're going to look at, just like these other coins, you're going to look at the 200-day moving average, the 100-day moving average, which is slightly trending up, the 200-day, which is slightly trending up, and the 50, which is slightly trending up, and wants to have a bullish cross if the price can stay elevated. These underneath moving averages are your support on the way back down, and your critical support is at 25.5 cents. If it did come all the way back down there over the next, say, week to 10 days, this is going to be very interesting to watch. And this is a bull call by me, still believing these will break down eventually and flip around. I could be 100% wrong, but at the very least, over the last 3.5 months, I believe we gave you the best technical analysis, the best insight with the education, information, and facts and basis and reasons why we felt and believed the things that we believed. And we watched the price come down when nobody else thought the price would come down there. Right, so we're going to continue to watch this. You can see we have a 255 as your major upper resistance right now. The moving averages underneath are starting to uptrend. And if we fill out this weekend and get in the Monday's time frame and the price is still elevated, we're going to have a bullish cross in the XRP price, but we haven't had that yet. We're going to see what happens this weekend. You can see all these coins are starting to trade a little bit down this morning, coming off their massive peaks from overnight into this morning. And on any kind of move down, obviously, these two moving averages are going to be critical to support, because if you flush or fail to hold those, you'd come all the way back down to the $2.09 critical neckline support area. And that's what we're looking at right now. We're going to get more into this tonight. It's going to be a very exciting weekend. It's been a very exciting 2.5 weeks, and we're going to stay on top of this for you to keep you informed, educated with truth, trust, and information. Peace and love. The Rock's Eyebrow, Jabroni Killers, J.